I will tell you a little story about commitment. If we pay close attention, people tend to commit to everything but themselves. Commitment seems something external. They commit to their job or career, they commit to the relationship they are in, they commit to succeed. But what about the commitment to our soul? What about the commitment to being true to ourselves? I understand. Society does not teach us how to be like that. And there is where it all begins. When I was 26, I was in a relationship for about 6 years. We had recently got engaged on New Year's Eve in Paris, and it was all leading up to marriage. This relationship didn't have a healthy foundation. It was a bit toxic, to be honest, and it would probably end at some point. But the goal here isn't to talk about the relationship. The picture that I want to bring in is that the relationship was moving towards a bigger commitment. We were both madly in love. I was 26, he was 32, and he had his life already figured out by society standards. A house, a business, etc. And he was expecting to have a woman who was ready to commit to the standards of what he expected to be right. And so, he got me a job. At the time, I was doing it all, hustling around, trying to find my calling, my place, my purpose. And so he said, I found you a really nice job. It pays well, you will have benefits, it is stable. But turns out I would be sitting on a chair, filling up Excel files, and nothing wrong with that, but not for me. I didn't know what my purpose was, but I knew that wasn't it. My creative soul felt like it was being killed by his convincing speech. It felt like I was being put in a box. And I had no other choice but to do something. And I said, I don't want that. I'm sorry, but I just can't. He snapped like he couldn't believe that his ideal dream was being turned down by this girl who had nothing concrete in her life, who couldn't even afford her own rent. It seemed insane, rebellious, and inconsequential. From my perspective, I couldn't believe I was doing it because he was everything to me. I was not only completely crazy about him, but the lifestyle I had was supported by him. But what he was asking from me was hurting my soul deeply. And there is where people succumb. They say, oh, well, isn't that bad, right? If I agree, I get to keep the love of my life and check all the boxes society wants. Relationship, check. Marriage, check. Nice job, check. My family approval, check. But what about my purpose? What about my soul? What about my truth, my joy, my dreams? We broke up that day. It was extremely painful. What I did, I know most people wouldn't do it. At this young age, with no support system, and especially being a woman, when society tried to convince us that we are weak and we should submit. But even through pain, I chose the most difficult option, a decision that would seem to take away everything from my life, but wouldn't betray my soul. And for me, this is true commitment. This is what we all should be taught.